Hello viewers, I'm Sakib, aka Mac. In this video, I am going to show you how to set breakpoint conditions in a C# console application project in the Visual Studio 2017 in order to debug. If you are interested to learn C# and you are using Visual Studio to create your solutions and projects, then you might be interested to learn more about Visual Studio debugging and setting breakpoints. For this video, I am using Visual Studio 2017 on Windows 10 Pro 64-bit operating system. However, if you have got older version of Visual Studio, then you don't need to worry, because this will work on almost all versions of Visual Studio. Here we will create a brand new console application project, and after creating the project, I will try to show how to set breakpoint conditions while you are being busy debugging your code. Let's start Visual Studio 2017 then and create our brand new console application project. This time I am starting Visual Studio from my taskbar. So it is already set there. You can see it here. So I'm just clicking on it. Okay, now we have the start page. Okay, let's start a brand new console application project. You know how to do it, or if you don't know, then go to the file menu, click on new, or expand it, then click on the project. Okay, now we have the dialog box, new project dialog box. Here my environment is set, and most of the time I use Visual C#. If you don't see Visual C# there, then you can get it from other languages. Alright, here other languages will be seen. Okay, so right now I'm going to set or select Windows Classic Desktop because I want a console app. Okay, and from this area the templates are here, and within these templates I'm going to select console app.NET Framework, and the .NET Framework version is 4.6.1. It is important because whenever you are going to share it with someone else, then they must have the same .NET Framework. Otherwise that program will not work in their operating system. Okay, we will talk about it later. Right now Windows Classic Desktop and then console app. Let's give it a name. Okay, we can name it. What we are doing right here, we are going to set breakpoint condition. So I'm using the name as breakpoint condition. Breakpoint conditions, and the location is my desktop, and there is a folder named example. You can see it. I'm within the desktop, and within desktop there is a folder named example, and here another folder there that is related to another project. So I'm selecting this folder. Go create your specific folder. If you don't have a specific folder there, then you can use that folder. So I'm selecting this folder, this example folder. You have to check the checkbox here, create directory for solutions. Yes, we are using this specific directory, and I'm not changing the solution name here. I want it to be same. You can click OK. Let's check one more time. Windows Classic Desktop, console app, and we have set all these three things, and check the checkbox. I'm clicking OK. Now we have two different windows here. One is program.cs. This area is called the editor window. Whatever we are going to do, whatever the code we are going to write, we are going to do it here within the editor window. And there is a solution explorer. Here you can see the name of the solution, the name of the project, and its related files. Okay, you can go to that files by right clicking and clicking on open folder in file explorer. So you can go to that folder and you can see which things are created there. Alright, we're getting out of this right now. Okay, let's write something. And you have to understand that this is a namespace block, and this is a class, this is the program class, and there's a static void main method here. Our code should be here for simplicity. So within this code block, I'm going to write something so that we can talk about the breakpoint conditions. This is example 1. Okay, we are going to use a for loop. Okay, let's write for. Just after writing for, you can press tab twice. We are not going to explain the for loop in details because that is a different topic. Okay, right now we can say that a for loop has 3 different parts, 3 different sections. All these sections are going to be separated by a semicolon, and the first part is called the initializer, the second part is called the condition or the boolean expression, where you are going to type a boolean expression, and the third part is the iterator, how you are going to jump from one to another. It was here, the cursor was here. I don't want to change the initializer I, the variable I, but the assignment is its type is int type, int32. It is already assigned there 0, and I want to jump to the second part, the condition part, and here we are right now. I don't want to use length here. Instead of length, we are going to use a number, numeric, and that number would be 10. And the last part is already okay, and there is a post increment there. It will be increased with 1. This is the for code block. For loop can have a single statement. If you have a single statement type, you don't have to give these curly braces, the opening curly braces and the closing curly braces. Instead of these curly braces, you can use a single statement. A for loop can have multiple statements, so we are going to use multiple statements here. That's why we need these code blocks. So whatever, this is the body part, and we are going to use more than one statement here. I'm going to keep it simple. I want to print one specific line or a few specific lines in the console window. Okay, let's type. To display that, we are going to use a console class, and there is a shortcut here. You can write CW and then tap twice. It will use the console class, and just after the console class, the dot operator is there, and you can access this writeLine method of this class. And we are going to display here this variable number, this variable, and to use that, I'm going to use variable here. Alright, the variable would be here, and I'm going to use I. So what it is going to do, this line we iterate 10 times because it is going to start from 0 and it is going to go up to 9, and that means it is going to iterate 10 times. And if you don't understand the for loop, then I suggest you to check the for loops first, how it works, then come back and then you can check how to set breakpoints. To make it simple and to understand as easily as possible, I'm not going to write any complex code there. I'm getting out of the for loop, and here using one more statement so that I can have a writeLine there. So I'm not going to use anything there, or you can use a dash. After finishing the for loop, it is going to create this dash within the console window whenever we are going to run it. To keep the console window open, you can write first console. Here within the IntelliSense is going to show a few things, and we are going to use this console class pressing enter button there. So we have the console class, and I can access its properties or methods or all other things by you just after typing a dot. That means the dot operator. This dot operator can bring, IntelliSense can show its related properties and fields and other things, methods. And we want to use the read key or read line method, and to get that I'm going to type R and then capital R, then capital K, and then the opening parenthesis. To finish the statement for me, I'm going to use a semicolon there. That's it, we are done there. This line is going to keep the console window open, and it is necessary to view so that you can understand easily. Okay, now we want to save our projects. I'm pressing Ctrl S to save our project. The loop will go through 10 times if you set a breakpoint within this loop. The initializer will be initialized for the first time, and if the condition is true, then it will run the first statement within the code block, which is the writeLine method. You can control when and where a breakpoint executes by setting breakpoint conditions. The condition can be any valid expression that the debugger recognizes. If you are an absolute beginner and you are learning C# programming language, then you might not be familiar with Visual Studio debugging techniques. Let's learn how to set breakpoints, delete breakpoints, and disable breakpoints before starting breakpoint conditions. It is very easy to set breakpoints. You can do this in different ways. The easiest way is to use this code editor window and this vertical line. I want to set a breakpoint within this for block or code block, and we have how many lines? We have 4 different lines there. Within these lines I can set breakpoint anywhere, and to do that, the simplest way, click in these vertical lines. If you set here, there will be a red circle there. That means you have set a breakpoint there. This is how you are going to do it using your mouse. And how to delete it? Just click on it one more time and it will be disappeared. In this way you can delete a breakpoint. But if you are a keyboard fan, then how you are going to set breakpoint here within this code block? This is your mouse pointer. Place the mouse pointer anywhere, like here I want to set the breakpoint, the starting of this for loop. So I'm placing my cursor here. Then from the keyboard I'm pressing F9. Our breakpoint is set there. Now how can we delete this breakpoint? By placing the mouse pointer anywhere within this line, and then you can press F9 to delete that breakpoint. You can place multiple breakpoint there, then you can press here. So as many times as you want, you can place breakpoints. This is how we can simply set breakpoints and delete breakpoints. How to disable a breakpoints. After setting a breakpoint, go there, hover on this red circle, and then right click, and then there is a thing here. You see, delete breakpoint or disable breakpoint. You can also click here to delete this breakpoint, or you can disable this breakpoint. If you disable this breakpoint, whenever you are going to run, this breakpoint will not trigger. You can disable these breakpoints by clicking on it. It will be disabled. Alright, again you can enable it by right clicking and enable breakpoint. If you are going to use keyboard, then you can see it is written here Ctrl F9. So press Ctrl F9 to disable the breakpoint, and then place the mouse pointer there again and press Ctrl F9 to enable the breakpoint. In this way you can easily set the breakpoint, delete the breakpoint, and disable the breakpoint. Let's start learning our first breakpoint condition. Why do you need to set breakpoint conditions? A lot of reasons might be there. For now, my first reason, I don't want to see this loop iterating 10 times. And instead, my requirement is to skip the first 5 cycles and go directly to the 6th loop when the value of the initializer is 5. To do that successfully, let's code a few more lines within this for loop. We are going to use an if statement. I'm writing if, then double tap twice, and there will be a boolean condition there, and instead of true I'm going to write when the value of the initializer is equals to 5, and I'm going to write a string literal there, and that literal would be found, you can type anything there, found conditional expression is true. I want to set the breakpoint exactly here. So I'm gonna use this vertical line, the easiest way to do that, and I'm quite good using mouse instead of keyboard. So using this, I have set the breakpoint already here. Alright, you can see it is marked. What I want to do, I want to set breakpoint conditions. How can you do that? You can use the keyboard, go hover over the red circle, and then right click, and then you will see conditions here. Or you can also, from the keyboard, you can also press Alt then F9 and then C. But you have to make sure that your cursor is within this breakpoint. If you want to set conditions there, this is how you're gonna set Alt then F9 and then C. Or you can view it easily there by right clicking on this red circle, and then see here it is Alt plus F9 and then C. You can right click there and then click on the conditions. In this way you can see the condition panel. Here you can see condition checkbox is already checked. You can set different conditions there. How many conditions are there? If you open the drop down here, you can see you can have 3 different options. You can see conditional expressions, hit count, and filter. You can do any of these, and then if you are using conditional expression, then you can use 2 different options there. It might be is true or when changed. You can set breakpoint conditions in one more way. You see, whenever you are going to hover over this red circle, more additional signs will be there. You see, you can disable also here by clicking on this icon. But this is the settings. Click on these settings and you will see breakpoint settings panel will open. Here it will not be checked. Check the conditions checkbox, and then from there you can use conditional expression. In the beginning it is true, and you have to see what expression is going to be the true. You can write your expression there.